My name's Claire, and I'm 32 years old now. I was raised in Michigan in one of those families where everybody lives within 20 m of one another and you're pretty much forced to show up for every holiday meetup or feel the anger of Grandma Helen. My cousin Maya didn't just steal boyfriends, she dismantled my sense of worth, piece by agonizing piece. But what happened when she finally met the one man who couldn't be charmed? And what if her failure sent my life spiraling into a far more dangerous game? I was 32, living in Georgia, in one of those families where everyone's practically neighbors, and skipping a holiday gathering is an act of war. My mom's side, especially. This wasn't just about showing up, it was about surviving. Maya, 2 years younger than me, had always been the golden child. And she was gorgeous. Annoyingly, genuinely beautiful. Long blonde hair, green eyes, a perfect body, the kind of woman who could wear a trash bag and still have men stumbling over themselves. And she knew it. She'd known it since we were teenagers. The first time it happened, I was 23. I'd just started dating Liam, a really sweet, shy graphic designer. We'd been together 4 months, and I was nervous about bringing him to Thanksgiving at Aunt Sarah's house. My family can be a lot. But Liam insisted he was serious about me. Maya showed up in a tiny red dress, completely inappropriate for a family dinner, but nobody said a word. My mom just gave me the look and went back to mashing potatoes. After dinner, Liam and I were talking with my uncle when Maya came over and literally squeezed herself between us on the couch. Her leg pressed against Liam's. She started asking him questions about his work, touching his arm when she laughed, leaning forward so he could see down her dress. I was right there, invisible. Liam looked uncomfortable, but honestly, he's a guy, and Maya is Maya. By the end of the night, I caught them alone in the kitchen. Her hand was on his chest, laughing. When they saw me, Maya just flashed this innocent smile and said, "I was just telling Liam how lucky he is to have you." 3 weeks later, we broke up. He said he needed space. 2 months after that, I saw him tagged in one of Maya's Instagram photos, arm around her waist, at some bar. That became the pattern. Every single guy I brought home, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, 4th of July, Maya would sink her claws in. It didn't matter who it was. There was Ben, the teacher. Daniel, the accountant. Alex. Noah. Ethan. Always the same. My family just let it happen. My mom would say Maya was young and didn't mean anything by it. My aunt said I couldn't handle a little competition. Grandma Carol told me I needed to be more feminine. Eventually, I stopped bringing dates to family events altogether. I told everyone I was focused on my career, happy being single. The truth? I was still dating, I just refused to give Maya any more ammunition. Then I turned 31 and met Lucas. He was perfect, a doctor, funny, kind, handsome. 8 months in, it was the most stable, healthy relationship I'd ever had. He kept asking to meet my family, and I kept making excuses. Christmas was coming, though, and I couldn't avoid it. I sat him down, explained everything about Maya. The whole history. I warned him she'd try something, begged him to ignore her, to stay close, not to fall for her games. Lucas actually laughed. "Emma, I'm a grown man. Your cousin isn't going to seduce me. I love you. Stop worrying." I wanted to believe him so badly. Christmas Eve. We drove to my parents' house. My stomach was churning. Lucas held my hand, reassuring me. Maya was already there. She was wearing this white sweater dress that looked painted on, with heels that made her legs go on forever. Her hair was perfect. She looked like a Victoria's Secret model who'd taken a wrong turn. She saw Lucas, and her eyes lit up like a jackpot. "You must be Lucas," she purred, walking over with a big smile. "I've heard so much about you. Emma is so lucky." The hug lasted too long. Lucas was polite but distant, keeping an arm around my waist, kissing my forehead, staying by my side. I started to relax. Maybe this time would be different. Maybe Lucas was different. But Maya was patient. She spent the entire evening circling us like a shark. Joining conversations, laughing at Lucas's jokes, asking about his work. Then, she spilled wine on her dress. "Lucas," she said, batting her eyelashes, "you're a doctor, you must know how to get stains out. Can you help me?" I watched him hesitate, look at me, then follow her to the kitchen. They were gone for 15 minutes. When they came back, her dress was fine, and Lucas looked flushed. He claimed they were just talking about her mom's knee surgery. I wanted to scream. We left early. I told my family I had a headache. Lucas drove home in silence while I cried. He swore nothing happened, swore he loved me, said Maya was just friendly, and I was overreacting. But I saw it in his eyes, that same curiosity, that interest, the one all the others had. We broke up in February. He needed to focus on his residency, he said. In March, I saw him at a restaurant with a blonde woman. It wasn't Maya, but it might as well have been. I was done. I stopped dating. I stopped going to family events. I told my mom I was busy with work. She was disappointed, but I didn't care. I was tired of being humiliated, tired of Maya winning. Then, something strange happened. I started volunteering at a literacy program at the local library, corresponding with inmates trying to improve their reading and writing. They matched me with Aaron, 34, serving the last 2 years of a 7-year sentence for armed robbery. His first letter was short. I wrote back, telling him about my tech job, hiking, the weather in Georgia. Basic stuff. He wrote back with more detail, growing up in Atlanta, bad choices, how prison gave him time to think about the man he wanted to be. His writing was rough but honest, raw and refreshing. We started writing once a week, then twice, then almost daily. He told me about the books he was reading, the anger management classes, his plans for getting a construction job and maybe going to community college. He had an aunt in Savannah who would let him stay with her. I told him about my family, about Maya, about feeling invisible and inadequate and angry. Aaron didn't judge. He didn't tell me to be more confident. He just said, "Your cousin sounds like a miserable person who only feels good when she's making other people feel bad. That's not about you. That's about her." Something about the simplicity of it just clicked. We wrote for 8 months. I looked forward to his letters more than anything. He was funny, thoughtful, vulnerable in ways no man I'd dated ever was. Maybe it was the prison, maybe it was just him. Then, he wrote that he was getting out in 2 months. He asked if I'd meet him for coffee. No pressure. I said yes. I don't know why. Maybe I was lonely. Maybe curious. Maybe I just wanted something in my life that Maya couldn't touch. Aaron got out in October. We met at a coffee shop in Savannah. I was so nervous. I'd only ever seen a small, blurry photo. But he walked in, and I recognized him immediately. Tall, broad shoulders, dark hair cut short, a nervous smile. He was handsome in an unexpected way, not polished like the guys I usually dated, but real. We talked for 3 hours. It was easy, comfortable, nothing like I expected. He asked if he could see me again. I said yes. We started dating. Movies, dinners, walks along the river. He was so different. He listened. He didn't play games. He said what he meant. He understood me in a way that was almost scary. He knew when I was anxious or upset before I said a word. He knew when I needed space and when I needed to be held. It was like finally being seen. In November, my mom called, asking if I was coming to Thanksgiving. I'd been avoiding her, but finally picked up. She said the family missed me, Grandma Carol was asking. I told her I'd think about it. That night, lying in bed, I mentioned it to Aaron. He asked why I was hesitant. I told him about Maya, again. About the pattern. How I couldn't watch it happen one more time. Aaron was quiet. Then he said, "Take me." I laughed. "You don't want to meet my family. Trust me." "I'm serious," he said. "Take me to Thanksgiving. Let me meet this cousin of yours." I told him it was a bad idea, that Maya would eat him alive, that she was beautiful, manipulative, ruthless. Aaron just shrugged. "I've been in prison for 7 years. I think I can handle your cousin." I thought, screw it. Why not, what was the worst that could happen? I'd lose another relationship. I was already halfway there to never speaking to my family again anyway. So I said yes. Thanksgiving morning, a knot tightened in my stomach. Aaron was calm. Simple button-down, jeans. He looked good, normal. We drove to my parents' house. I gave him one last warning. Maya is going to come after you hard. She'll flirt, she'll touch you, she'll try to get you alone. Please, just stay with me. Don't fall for it. Aaron took my hand. "Emma, I'm not going anywhere. I promise." We walked in. My mom hugged me like I'd been gone for years. My dad shook Aaron's hand, asked what he did. "Construction," Aaron said, and my dad launched into a story about building his deck. Then Maya walked in from the kitchen. Tight black dress, plunging neckline, ridiculous heels. Her hair and makeup flawless. She saw Aaron, and I swear I could see the wheels turning. She approached with a predatory smile. "You must be Aaron," she said, extending her hand. "I'm Maya, Emma's cousin." Aaron shook her hand briefly. "Nice to meet you." Maya held his hand a second too long. "I've heard absolutely nothing about you. Emma keeps her life so private." She looked at me with fake innocence. "How long have you two been together?" "A couple months," I said. "Oh, that's so sweet." Maya chirped. "How did you meet?" I opened my mouth, unsure, but Aaron answered, through a pen pal program. Maya's eyes lit up. "Oh, like one of those online things?" "That's adorable." "Something like that," Aaron said, his voice even, unbothered. Maya launched into her usual routine. Questions about his job, his childhood, his hobbies. Touching his arm when she laughed. Leaning in. Everything she always did. Aaron was polite but distant, answering briefly, then turning back to me or someone else. He kept his hand on my lower back. When Maya suggested he help her bring in chairs from the garage, he just said, "I think your dad can handle it," and stayed right by me. I could see her getting frustrated. This wasn't how it usually went. Usually, by now, the guy would be fawning. Aaron wasn't flustered. He was barely interested. Dinner was the same. Maya sat across from us, trying to engage Aaron. Sports, movies, music. Stories designed to make her sound adventurous. Loud laughs at unfunny jokes. Aaron was polite, nodding, smiling occasionally, but mostly he talked to my uncle about fishing and asked Grandma Carol about her stuffing recipe. He held my hand under the table. After dinner, everyone moved to the living room. Maya cornered Aaron by the drink table. My heart pounded. This was it. The private conversation. The number exchange. The beginning of the end. I saw her lean close, touch his chest, whisper something. Aaron stepped back. He said something I couldn't hear, then walked away and came to sit beside me. Maya stood by the drink table, looking stunned. My mom leaned over and whispered, "I like this one. He seems steady." I almost cried. We stayed for another hour. Maya kept trying, kept circling, but Aaron didn't budge. He stayed with me, talked to my family, acted like Maya was just another person in the room. When we finally left, I felt like I could breathe for the first time in years. In the car, I asked Aaron what Maya had said by the drink table. He hesitated. Then he said, "She told me you were damaged and insecure and that I could do better. She gave me her number." My stomach dropped. "And what did you say?" I asked. "I told her I wasn't interested," he said, "and that she should probably work on being a better person before she tried to ruin anyone else's life." I started crying. Not sad crying, but relieved crying. Like something inside me that had been wound tight for years suddenly released. Aaron pulled over. He just held me while I sobbed. When I finally calmed down, I looked at him. "Why? Why did you not fall for it? Every other guy has. She's beautiful and charming, and she knows exactly what to say." Aaron looked at me like I'd asked the dumbest question in the world. "Emma, I spent 7 years in prison. I learned pretty quick how to spot people who are full of garbage. Your cousin is miserable. You can see it in her eyes. She's not happy. She's not confident. She's desperate, and desperate people are boring." He paused. "Plus, I'm in love with you. Why would I want someone like her when I have you?" I kissed him right there, like my life depended on it. That should have been the end. Aaron proved he was different. Maya failed. I won for once. But life is never that simple. A week later, my mom called. She sounded upset. Maya had come over crying, saying I'd brought an ex-convict to Thanksgiving without warning anyone. She'd looked Aaron up online, found his record, and felt unsafe and disrespected. I was furious. "Mom," I said, "Aaron served his time. He's a good person, and Maya is only upset because she couldn't manipulate him." My mom sighed. "Emma, honey, I know Maya can be difficult, but bringing a felon to a family event without telling anyone is not okay. Your father is very upset. Grandma Carol is worried." I hung up on her. I didn't talk to my family for 3 weeks. My phone was full of texts from relatives. My aunt said I was selfish. My uncle said I should have told them about Aaron's past. My cousin Chloe, who I'd always liked, sent a long message about thinking of other people's feelings and safety. Only my younger brother texted to say, "Maya is such a drama queen. Aaron seems cool." Aaron felt terrible. He said he should have told me to warn my family. I told him it wasn't his fault, that my family was just looking for an excuse to make Maya the victim, like they always did. But it ate at me. The idea that I'd finally found someone good, someone real, and my family couldn't even be happy for me. That Maya could lose, and still somehow make herself the center of attention. Christmas came. I didn't go. I spent it with Aaron at his aunt's house. She made ham and mashed potatoes and didn't ask invasive questions or make passive-aggressive comments. It was the best Christmas I'd ever had. Then, in January, Chloe called. She needed to talk in person, it was important. I almost said no, but something in her voice made me agree. We met at a coffee shop. Chloe looked nervous. "I need to tell you something about Maya, and you are not going to like it," she said. I waited. Chloe took a breath. Last year, Maya started seeing a therapist. Aunt Sarah made her go because she was having panic attacks. The therapist diagnosed her with something, basically, she's really insecure and needs constant validation from men to feel good about herself. "That's not an excuse," I said. "I know," Chloe said quickly. "I'm not saying it is. But here's the thing. The therapist told her to apologize to you, to confront what she's been doing. And Maya refused. She said you were the problem, that you were jealous and bitter, and she didn't owe you anything. I felt sick. But then you showed up with Aaron at Thanksgiving, and something changed. Maya came to my apartment that night and completely broke down. She was crying, saying she didn't understand why Aaron wasn't interested in her, why her usual tricks didn't work. She said she felt invisible for the first time in her life. Good, I said. I meant it. That's not all, Chloe said, looking down at her coffee. Maya has been stalking Aaron online. Like, really stalking him. She found his old Facebook from before he went to prison. Articles about his arrest. She found his ex-girlfriend and sent her messages asking about him. My blood ran cold. What? She's obsessed, Chloe said. She can't handle losing. So, she's trying to find dirt on him, trying to prove to the family that he's dangerous or whatever. She's the one who told your mom about his record. She printed out articles about his case and showed them to Grandma Carol. I couldn't breathe. Why are you telling me this? Chloe looked at me, tears in her eyes. Because Maya is planning something. She's been talking about going to the police, making a complaint that Aaron made her feel threatened at Thanksgiving. She's trying to get him in trouble, maybe even sent back to prison. And I couldn't let her do that without warning you. I felt like the world was tilting. She wouldn't. Even Maya wouldn't do that, Emma, she's not thinking straight, Chloe said. She's desperate, and desperate people do crazy things. I left the coffee shop in a daze. I called Aaron immediately, told him everything. He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, I knew something like this might happen. People don't like when ex-cons try to build normal lives. There's always someone who wants to tear you down. We need to do something, I said. We need to stop her. There's nothing to stop, Aaron said. I didn't threaten her. I didn't do anything wrong. If she files a false report, it'll get thrown out, but it will be on my record. It will follow you, I said. Aaron sighed. Yeah, probably. I had never felt rage like that moment. Pure, burning rage at Maya for being so selfish, so cruel, so empty that she would try to destroy someone's life just to feel powerful. I spent the next 2 days trying to figure out what to do. Call Maya? Warn my parents? A lawyer? Then Aaron said something that changed everything. What if we just let her do it? I stared at him. What? What if we let her file the false report? Aaron said. Let her lie to the police. Let her put it in writing, and then we prove she's lying. How? Aaron pulled out his phone. He opened his voice memo app. I recorded our conversation at Thanksgiving. The one by the drink table when she gave me her number. I record a lot of conversations now, just in case. Prison habit. He played it. Maya's voice came through crystal clear. Emma is damaged and insecure. You seem like a smart guy. You could do so much better. Here's my number. Call me if you want to have a real conversation. Then Aaron's voice, I'm not interested. You should probably work on being a better person before you try to ruin anyone else's life. Maya's laugh, bitter and sharp, wow, you're just like her. Judgmental and boring. The recording ended. This proves she was coming on to me, Aaron said. If she claims I threatened her or made her uncomfortable, this recording contradicts that. It shows she was the aggressor. I looked at him. You recorded that just in case? I told you, Aaron said. 7 years in prison teaches you to protect yourself. We decided to wait. If Maya filed a false report, we'd use the recording. If she didn't, we'd move on. 3 weeks passed. Nothing. I started to think Chloe was wrong. Maybe Maya had backed down. Then my mom called. Maya had been in a fender bender. Not serious, but she was shaken up. She wanted me to visit her in the hospital. I said no. My mom was angry. She said I was cruel, that Maya was family, that I needed to put aside my petty grudge. I hung up, but I felt guilty. I've always felt guilty when it comes to my family. That's what they trained me to do, feel guilty for having boundaries. So, I went to the hospital. Not because I wanted to see Maya, but because I wanted to prove to myself I was the bigger person. Maya was in a private room, sitting up, a small bandage on her forehead. She looked surprised. "Emma," she said. "I didn't think you'd come." "I almost didn't," I replied. "Mom said you wanted to see me." Maya looked down at her hands. "I did. I need to tell you something." I waited. "I've been really messed up," she said, her voice quiet, shaky. "Like, really, really messed up. My therapist says I've been using male attention to avoid dealing with trauma from when I was younger, and I know that's not an excuse for what I've done to you, for what I've done to all your relationships." I didn't say anything. Maya continued, tears now running down her face. "I've been so jealous of you for so long. You've always had your life together. Good job. Your own apartment. You're smart and funny, and people actually like you. And I have nothing. Just my looks. And I've been so terrified of losing that, of becoming invisible, that I've been trying to prove I'm better than you by taking the one thing you had that I didn't, your relationships." She whispered, "And I know that's so messed up. I know I've hurt you so badly, and I'm sorry." I stood there, looking at this woman who had tormented me for years, destroyed relationship after relationship, made me feel worthless and broken. And now she was crying, apologizing, admitting she was the problem. I should have felt vindicated, triumphant. Instead, I just felt tired. "I don't forgive you," I said. "I don't know if I ever will, but I appreciate you finally admitting what you've done." Maya nodded, still crying. I turned to leave, then stopped. "For what it's worth, I hope you get the help you need. I hope you figure out who you are beyond your looks. But I won't be part of that journey. Don't contact me. Don't contact Aaron. Just leave us alone." I walked out into the hallway and ran into Chloe. She hugged me. "I'm proud of you," she said. I asked her what happened, why Maya suddenly had this change of heart. Chloe looked uncomfortable. She got a call from her therapist this morning. Apparently, the police contacted the therapist because Maya had made an appointment to file a report against Aaron. The therapist convinced her it was a terrible idea, that it would ruin her life and his, and that she needed to confront what she was actually feeling instead of trying to destroy someone else. I felt dizzy. She was really going to do it, yeah, Chloe said. But she didn't. That has to count for something, right? I didn't answer. I left the hospital and called Aaron. I told him everything. He was quiet for a minute, then said, "So, it's over." "I think so," I said. "Good," Aaron said, "because I have something to ask you." My heart skipped. "What? Move in with me?" Aaron said again. "I know we've only been together a few months, but I've spent 7 years alone in a cell, and I don't want to waste any more time. I love you. I want to build a life with you. So, move in with me?" I said yes. I moved in with Aaron in March. We got a small apartment near his work. Nothing fancy, but it was ours. We adopted a dog from the shelter, a mutt named Rocket. We started building a quiet, normal, boring life, in the best possible way. I didn't talk to Maya. I didn't go to Easter or Mother's Day. I kept in touch with Chloe and my brother, but everyone else in my family could wait. My mom called in June, asking if I was coming to the 4th of July barbecue. I said no. She cried, said I was tearing the family apart. I said the family was already torn apart, I was just finally admitting it. Then something happened that I didn't expect. Maya sent me a letter, an actual physical letter in the mail. I almost threw it away, but curiosity got the better of me. The letter was long, handwritten, and raw. Maya wrote about her childhood, about being sexually mistreated by a family friend when she was 12, about how nobody believed her. She wrote about learning that her looks were the only thing people valued about her, that her body was the only currency she had. She wrote about years of therapy, of medication, of trying to figure out why she was so broken. She wrote about me, about how watching me succeed while she fell apart made her feel worthless, about how she convinced herself that if she could just take away my happiness, she'd feel better. She wrote that she was in intensive therapy now, had cut off toxic friends, and was trying to build a life based on something other than male validation. She wrote that she didn't expect forgiveness, she just wanted me to understand. At the end, she included a printout of a photo. It was from one of the times she'd stolen a boyfriend from me, Daniel. They were at some party, smiling. On the back, she'd written, "I am sorry I made you feel invisible." The truth is, I was the one who felt invisible. I showed the letter to Aaron. He read it carefully, then looked at me. "What are you going to do?" "I don't know," I said honestly. "You don't owe her anything," Aaron said. "Not forgiveness, not understanding, nothing. She hurt you repeatedly. You get to decide if she deserves another chance." "Do you think she deserves another chance?" Aaron thought about it. "I think people can change." I did. But change is hard, and most people don't put in the work. So maybe she will, maybe she won't. But that's not your problem to solve. He was right. I wrote Maya a short letter back. I said I'd read her letter, that I was sorry for what she'd been through, but I still needed distance. Maybe one day, but not now. Not yet. She wrote back saying she understood. That was 1.5 years ago. Last month, Chloe called. She said Maya was engaged to a woman named Isabella, whom she met at her therapy group. They'd been together for 1 year, and Maya was different, calmer, happier, more genuine. Chloe said Maya wanted to invite me to the wedding but was too nervous to ask. I told Chloe I'd think about it. I talked to Aaron that night. He said it was up to me, that he would support whatever I decided. I asked if he would come with me if I decided to go. He smiled. "To watch you face your family again after 1 year? I wouldn't miss it." I called Maya the next day. We talked for 2 hours. She told me about Isabella, about how therapy was helping, about how she was trying to be a different person. I told her about my life with Aaron, our apartment, our dog. It was weird talking to her like a normal person instead of an enemy. At the end of the call, she asked if I would come to the wedding. She said she'd understand if I said no, but it would mean a lot. I said yes. The wedding is in 2 months. I have no idea how I'll feel seeing my family again, seeing Maya marry someone and claim to be a changed person. I don't know if I believe people can really change, or if Maya is just better at hiding her demons now, but I guess I'll find out. Aaron says that's the thing about life after prison. You learn to take things one day at a time. You learn that people are messy and complicated and sometimes awful, but sometimes they surprise you. He says I surprised him, that he never thought he'd get out of prison and meet someone who loved him despite his past, that he never thought he'd get a second chance at a normal life. I tell him he surprised me too. That he was the first person who ever chose me over Maya, the first person who saw through her games and decided I was worth more. We're sitting on our couch now, Rocket curled up between us, talking about whether we should get a cat. Aaron says yes. I say we already have a dog. He says that's exactly why we need a cat, for balance. I'm laughing because this is my life now. Arguing about pets with a man who spent 7 years in prison and somehow became the most stable, honest person I have ever known. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Maya. Thank you for saying yes to the wedding. It means everything to me. I text back, see you there. I don't know what will happen at that wedding. I don't know if Maya and I will ever have a real relationship, or if my family will ever understand why I needed to protect myself from them for so long. But for the first time in my life, I'm not worried about it, because I have Aaron, and our dog, and our tiny apartment, and our quiet, boring, beautiful life. And that is enough. Actually, it is more than enough. It is everything. What would you have done in my situation?